How you all doing, guys? Brandon here. Welcome back to Retro Dodo. Now, I've been late to the party. This RG351M here got lost in post here in the UK because the pandemic is still at its peak here. The government are really struggling to lock it all down, which means that the post has been affected. So I've got it a few weeks late, but it's here. I've had it a week and a half now, and here is my thoughts and opinions because I am absolutely in love. So let's roll the intro and jump straight in. So here is the RG351M, a metal variant of the oh so popular RG351P. And if you've seen our review, watched our video, you will know that we absolutely love this thing. And to make it all better, Anbernic have released a metal variant that's $40 more, and it's just immaculate. And the whole metal shell here just adds a whole new premium factor to a superb retro handheld. Now, this is getting pricey, coming in at $139. It's not a cheap handheld, and it's one that I recommend you probably don't upgrade from if you've got the RG351P. I personally am a big fan of metal handhelds, so this for me meets, affordability with reliability with superb build quality, and that is what Anbernic is really good at. So a closer look at around the shell, you've got a 3.5-inch display, 2 Nintendo Switch analog sticks, 4 shoulder buttons, 2 USB-C ports, grips on the back, and made from a block of aluminium that makes it feel very, very nice. Now, it comes in just 2 color variants. I mentioned this in our written review. I would have liked to see more. I saw a red one floating about online. Don't know where that is. That was probably just a concept or something, but I would have liked to see a few more color variants. The rose gold looks really nice as well, but I want something deeper, a bit more aggressive. You've got a volume wheel on the right here, which is very, very nice. I prefer a wheel to buttons. Your speakers are at the bottom as well, so they're out the way of your hand when playing, and everything just feels good. The shoulder buttons have very, very nice feedback. And some of you may be saying, Brandon, what's the difference between this and the plastic version? The plastic version is a little bit older, and it didn't come with a Wi-Fi module, which the metal variant does. This basically allows you to transfer files wirelessly and scrape images and more information for your games in the software. The plastic version didn't have this because of the early release, and they had some problems with it that they had to recall. So they basically used that feature as another way to hope to get you to upgrade, basically. And also I did notice, you really won't be able to see it in this video, but I noticed a difference in the action buttons. I don't know if it's just the plastic on plastic that's making it quite rattly and scrapey, whereas the action buttons on the metal one has a bit more of a natural bouncy feedback with no noise, whereas the plastic has quite a lot of noise. So that's something I realized when reviewing the product, which I really, really like. So when you buy the RG351M, yes, mine did come preloaded. So if you are looking for it to be preloaded, there is a link below, and you will straight out of the box have this really nice operating system here, and everything is just preloaded. So your menus here are basically what you want to play. If you want to go and play Super Nintendo games, you've got all of your Nintendo games here preloaded, which I have 183, and you get some images here of the box art to let you know what you're playing. You can update these names, the box art, should you want to, in the settings using the Wi-Fi module, and it's a great thing that if you do want to dive into more kind of, tinkering, the RG351M lets you. There's a lot of features that you can use around the Wi-Fi module that allows you to open up a lot more features. But what I like about this is that straight out of the box, it's easy to use. You could give this to a child, an adult, they'll know what they're doing. Everything's named, preloaded, and the buttons are already mapped for you straight out of the box, which I love. And that's one thing I mentioned like a year and a half ago, how these handhelds are coming out and they're not user-friendly straight out of the box. Now, 12, 18 months later, they are being so good with basically modifying these straight out of the box so a kid can play on them as soon as they open it, which I absolutely love. The display is nice. It's got a very clean premium glass screen on top to give it that premium form factor, and everything is just easy to see and easy to organize. So what I'm going to do now is actually jump into some emulation so I can show you the frame rates, how it looks, how it feels, how the display is, and in the top corner I'll give you a Dodo rating out of 5 regarding the emulation, basically. So let's take a look. So as you can see, everything up to N64 ran fairly well, actually superbly in my honest opinion. But it's once you start pressing on Dreamcast that things start to slow down, audio starts to crack, and frame rates start to drop. So in my honest opinion, if you want a Dreamcast handheld, this is not the one to go for. This is everything up from Gameboy all the way up to N64 and a little bit of 2D PSP. And that's about it. But that's all a lot of us really need. And for that, I think this is one of the best handhelds out there. Yes, maybe towards the end of the year, early next year, we'll start seeing Dreamcast performance become really, really good in affordable handhelds and maybe even pushing on GameCube. But as of now, that's just not affordable in the $100 to $150 price range. But the Anbernic RG351M, mixing the build quality with the emulation performance, makes this a very, very nice handheld. But it is missing something. And for a $140 handheld, I wish they added HDMI out. In the original RG350, they did this, and although it didn't work well, there was potential. You could plug this into your monitor, You could hook up controllers and use it as a portable console. And I thought when they said the Wi-Fi module was going to work on here, I honestly thought you'd be able to combine it with Bluetooth and HDMI and use it as a retro console. But unfortunately, they didn't add HDMI out, which is a little bit disappointing. But I can imagine they are saving that for a potential, RG352 or something down the line. But I would have liked to see that. But as of now, this is probably my favorite handheld. A lot of you will be asking, Brandon, how do you compare this to the Retroid Pocket 2? Now, the Retroid Pocket 2 is still one of my favorite handhelds. It's between this and that, in all honest opinion. But what this beats or does better than the Retroid Pocket 2 is build quality and ease of use straight out of the box. The Retroid Pocket 2 is kind of targeted to someone that knows what they're doing in the emulation space and likes to tinker with an Android OS in terms of retro gaming emulation. I had to play around for hours with the Retroid Pocket 2 to get it to where I want it to be. Whereas the RG351M here worked straight out of the box flawlessly. And that means it sits high on my list because I can recommend it to a lot of you who are newcomers or a lot of you that love retro handheld. So it's just a brilliant piece of work, and it's Anbernic's flagship device at the moment. And I think it's going to be for a while. I'm still in love with the RG350, their older one, but this has just, beaten that in my honest opinion. It's my favorite metal handheld as of now, and I highly recommend it to anyone. Should you upgrade from the RG351P? Probably not, unless you're a big fan of metal handhelds and you want that Wi-Fi module to, organize your files and do other things. So there you have it, a quick review today of the RG351M, what I'm calling my new favorite handheld, but it is pricey. It's $139, so take that into consideration. Do you need this or the plastic one? If you want the best handheld under $150, this is it as of today. I love it. As per usual, if you want to see more retro handheld content, hit that subscribe button and I'll see you in the next video. Peace.